the only thing that was happening on Bitcoin at the current block size was moving UTXOs into this new scheme. So like that's a scary thing, that like if things happen whatever faster than people expect or whatever, there is a risk, which is that we can't move the coins as fast as we need to. And so yeah, people definitely need to keep working on this, but people are working on it. Like I don't even know what his point is. Like he thinks like,
well, and the risk
working on it. That's
and the risk really is. I didn't know this until yesterday. I was talking to Vic and David about this, but the risk really mostly associated with the Satoshi coins. It's and other early coins.
I mean the actual
and other early coins
risk is, can you derive private keys from public keys? And the early P2PK keys have public keys that are exposed. Now, any transaction, right, when you sign and broadcast a transaction for a certain amount of time, exposes your public key.
Yeah. So that's
not just Satoshi coin.
Yeah, so it's short range, long range, and that's the short range attack, is you attacking a transaction. But if you're like something like a hash protected P2WSH multi-sig,
it's harder for quantum computers. But like by the time we're that vulnerable, like it's a bad situation. It's like we don't want.
Well, I agree that we should be. So here's the conversation. I think we should be proactive about it. I think we should do like state of quantum, style talks. I think we should like be adults and alleviate capital allocators' fears and stop talking about fucking spam or whatever stupid shit everybody else is interested in. Like the quantum threat is a real threat. Spam is whatever. You could continue the chain forever indefinitely with spam on it. And so yeah, we need to be like. I think BPI should take a role in this. Else is going to do it because there's no other in the room. So like, you know what I mean?
I disagree.
How so?
I think that
okay, this is the real confession of Aleister Crowley. The mad old bastard faked it. Between noon and 1 p.m. on 8/9/10 April 1904, a supernatural herald allegedly manifested in the Cairo apartment of infamous Victorian Satanist Edward Alexander Crowley. The preterhuman entity named Iwas proclaimed the onset of a new epoch for mankind. Dictated the 3 chapters of Liber Vel Legis, Book of the Law, and appointed Crowley as figurehead of a new world religion, Thelema, and sole terrestrial confidant of Horus, the supreme deity of the new eon. In short, Crowley was the new Jesus, and Liber Vel Legis represented a new rule book, valid for the next 2,000 years. The age of Aquarius has dawned with the great beast 666 at its helm. On this outlandish claim rests the life, legacy, and reputation of Aleister Crowley. On this slender bough hangs the spiritual authority of his new world religion, Thelema. On this fantastical assertion dangles a global publishing industry, the faith of aficionados and converts across the globe, and the very raison d'etre of the OTO Incorporated, legal guardians of Crowley's literature and artistic legacy, and high priests of his magical construct. On the scaffold of those 3 pivotal days is suspended the ultimate historical fate of Aleister Crowley, madman or Messiah. seer, or psycho. If my observations are correct, then everything written about and by the great beast 666 is subject to fundamental reprisal. I am not an occultist and intensely skeptical of almost all supernatural literature and its hyperbolic claims. Nevertheless, with reference to this work and the multiplicity of bizarre synchronicities that occurred during its preparation, I am unable to shake an unsettling conviction that the magical essence of Aleister Crowley guided my footsteps every step of the way. Whatever those words mean. In releasing this material, I have created a monster that will hang like an albatross around my neck for the remainder of my life. Liber Elvel Bogus is a book that nobody wants to hear of, read of, or God forbid actually be right. Somewhat paradoxically, it will attract interested parties with an allure equal and opposite to its force of repulsion. Ultimately, each will loathe it on principle in direct proportion to the spiritual, psychological, emotional, and financial investment made in Brand Crowley. Aleister Crowley faked his own suicide. He lied about burning his passport, fabricated his ancestry. He spent his entire life hiding behind an elaborate facade of alter egos, costumes, aliases, and pen names. Given this and myriad other questionable character traits, I am perplexed in the extreme that some unable and unwilling to consider a possibility that Crowley's account of his reception of Liber may not represent the expurgated and literal truth. For the benefit of unfortunates afflicted with acute and terminal cases of crow blindness, I offer this crumb of comfort. Liber Elvel Bogus does not exist. It is a spoof, a joke, a hoax, and a phantasm of my imagination. Its publication and distribution are a mirage. Crowley received a new law for mankind precisely as stated. Go ask, I was. Talk of a backlash. Since news of this publication first surfaced, speculation regarding its content has gurgled within occult, Crowley, and Thelemic communities. Heated debate relating to various issues allegedly raised has echoed uneasily around online forums. Most of the emails I receive these days routinely includes probing questions and jocular references to the prevalent ambience of trepidation surrounding my heresy, blasphemy, and treason. From the outset, I accepted that my findings would meet with a certain degree of caution and reticence. However, during the course of various correspondences, it became increasingly clear that a virulent strain of what I can only describe as instinctive aversion infects many aficionados and apologists of Aleister Crowley. Questions regarding Crowley's reception of Liber Vel Legis are nothing new. But Cornelius, David Horse, and others have aired a multiplicity of perplexing anomalies. And in the absence of conclusive proof, Crowleyites habitually bend over backwards in giving the Messiah the benefit of doubt. On consideration of this frustrating trait, I came to realize that the evident disinclination to look at certain unsavory facts related not to the inconvenience of compelling a recalibration of one's intellectual estimation of historical figure. In its heart, the unease foreshadows a dread of the emotional, psychological, and spiritual turmoil inherent within exposure, a self-defense mechanism enabling countless individuals for years and even decades. to look away from circumstantial evidence left by an unfaithful partner rather than manifest the raw ego-shattering carnage of confrontation, betrayal, and separation.
The MAGA Trump supporters don't know what the fuck they voted for. They're basically cheering for policies that strip their own health care, raise their grocery bills, cut Social Security.
Okay, that's been a brief introduction and reading of The Real Confession of Aleister Crowley.
So I need to get caught up. I need to have a long conversation with Rob Hamilton. And
Here's
then
the other thing, that, like, aside, like, because
that one I'm gonna get into it because I got too much going on. So racist white men affected 693 black women.
Ultimately, each will loathe it. On principle, in direct proportion to the spiritual, psychological, emotional, and financial investment made in Brand Crowley. Aleister Crowley faked his own suicide. He lied about burning his passport, fabricated his ancestry. He spent his entire life hiding behind an elaborate facade of alter egos, costumes, aliases, pen names. Given this and myriad other questionable character traits, I am perplexed in the extreme that some unable and unwilling to consider a possibility that Crowley's account of his reception of Liber L may not represent the expiated and literal truth. For the benefit of unfortunates afflicted with acute and terminal cases of crow blindness, I offer this crumb of comfort. Liber L Vel bogus does not exist. It is a spoof, a joke, a hoax, and a phantasm of my imagination. Its publication and distribution are a mirage. Crowley received a new law for mankind precisely as stated. Go ask. I was. Talk of a backlash. Since news of this publication first surfaced, speculation regarding its content has gurgled within occult, Crowley, and Thelemic communities. Heated debate relating to various issues allegedly raised has echoed uneasily around online forums. Most of the emails I receive these days routinely includes probing questions and jocular references to the prevalent ambience of trepidation surrounding my heresy, blasphemy, and treason. From the outset, I accepted that my findings would meet with a certain degree of caution and reticence. However, during the course of various correspondences, it became increasingly clear that a virulent strain of what I can only describe as instinctive aversion affects many aficionados and apologists of Aleister Crowley.
America.
By consensus is like really bad precedent for us to set, and like very risky for, you know, government takeover of Bitcoin. And so that's like, yeah, anything you do to say like, yeah, we're gonna give it to the miners, or, you know, we're gonna solve the subsidy problem like simultaneously. We're just gonna set it aside, and yeah, now we have these Satoshi coins to have, you know.
But if you say, okay, there's a 2-year window to move your coins over. After that, the fees from transitioning over are like 75% of the transaction, like something like that. So you know, you can still move it over, but we're gonna assume, you know, there's a high likelihood. I don't know.
Yeah,
here's an idea.
You can do all that. Like, and people are
It's
thinking
going to
about
be
this type of
okay.
stuff.
The person
It
who's
is
going to sell
very
the
risky.
coins is going to be the U.S. government or the Chinese government. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, so they end up with what, 250,000 coins, 5 million
No.
maybe, like they're available.
So, yeah, up to 5 million.
Okay, so you take 75% of it away from them
Why not
They're left
take
with
all of it
million
away and solve the fee market problem?
because it still incentivizes them to free up those coins.
How do you think the U.S. government? I mean, we're going to do war games about this, but how do you think the U.S. government's going to react if China hacks all those coins? How's the United States government going to react to Bitcoin?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Are they? Let's try this. Are they going to react well, or are they going to be upset?
I guess it's defined. They're going to be upset if China gets a few million Bitcoin, right?
How is the United States government going to feel about Bitcoin becoming increasingly important base money if China owns a ridiculous outsized percentage of the supply of that money?
I imagine negatively.
What kind of policies might the government put in place to discourage the use of Bitcoin then as a neutral base money?
Anything they put in would probably be self-harm, so whatever.
How does the U.S. government feel about North Korea having a bunch of Bitcoin right now, Zach? Like,
I don't give, like, maybe you think this isn't very nice of me, but I don't really give a fuck about the American government.
Okay, but they have a lot of power.
Agreed.
So maybe you should care.
Well, we're not going to give them power in Bitcoin, so fuck them. Like, I think it's a worthy cause for you to fight for policy for your people, but you're not doing it for Bitcoin. You're doing it for your people.
If we decide that we're able to seize these coins, we are turning Bitcoin over to the U.S. government. So that, like, yeah, I don't think it's Bitcoin then. So, like, you'll have your, you know, US BTC, and I'll continue to use.
Well, what I'm proposing, which is the recycling of the coins, wouldn't be a government policy. It would be
It's favoring one government over another.
Once we've done that, now we're gonna have to do whatever the U.S. government wants us to do, right?
I don't actually see the connection at all between a Bitcoin.
The ability to seize coins, we've now demonstrated
no,
we have.
It's not about seizing coins. It's saying that there is this hard fork that we are doing because of quantum vulnerability. Anyone who wants to move over to the new thing absolutely keeps it. Like, no one has to have their coins taken. For coins that are lost, or I assume there will be almost nobody that has coins and chooses not to do this, but I suppose if you choose not to migrate in the ample amount of time we give you, then those coins in the new version of the fork, after a certain deadline that's well announced way in advance, are recycled into block rewards.
I mean, I get it, but you understand this is basically what the Knots people are talking about right now. is absolutely. I mean, whatever. We can use different words. It's fine. But like, fundamentally, we're saying we're going to make a protocol change that means we have whitelisted a certain set of Bitcoin and we have blacklisted another set of Bitcoin.
It's not
and this is the way.
We don't know what set of Bitcoin makes it onto the new fork or not.
I understand what you're saying. You've created a policy for how that list gets created. I get it.
Which is you have to opt in. That's it.
But the precedent that sets in general is just like very damning to Bitcoin.
Now the network is forced to say you have to KYC your addresses or you get blacklisted.
I just disagree with that precedent.
Well, I disagree with you. And I also disagree that doing that is not actively trying, like, the fear that China is going to get the coins. That's not my biggest fear.
Exactly. You know that you are wasting your time. Your wife knows.
It's a bigger fear to me that Bitcoin gets compromised than China gets coins.
Football games and call yourself a man.
Yeah, I just don't think what I'm describing is Bitcoin being compromised.
You're such a loser.
I think what I'm describing is still very strong property rights. You can continue to use Bitcoin Xi's vision if you want. You don't have to use the quantum resistant version.
I know. And this is why it hasn't happened yet. Because there's enough people that aren't going to change over. Like, you better have a pretty compelling proposal in order to get everyone to agree. And right now we don't have that yet. So people are working on one. And then you're saying nobody's looking at it. And I'm having the same discussion with you I had 4 years ago with somebody else.
Exactly. You know that you are wasting your time. Your wife knows you are wasting your time.
Everyone comes to the quantum discussion at the time they deserve, and they think, okay, we need to drop everything and solve this. And, you know, Zach and Nick Carter got there recently. Good luck. I want definitely do the work.
There's not even good enough evidence to support
spend more time on it for sure.
Who is John Kitover? He sounds like a great American.
And you're absolutely right that it's both technical and, you know, the community are, and there's probably a lot more of the stuff that's been thought about than the community side of it. So totally agree. That needs to happen.
Yeah, then you got to solve the technical stuff before you can even bother advocating, right?
Like, you kind of, it's like, it's sort of a potential technical solution depending on what the community comes to.
But I think as a community, everyone's looking like, hey, it wouldn't hurt if we could come up with a solution. Now, let's find the most, easy solution. And until you get one that we all agree is easy to swallow, we're not anything. There's not a real threat right now, so let's keep working on it. It seems that simple to me. But I think that there is a quantum alarmism that is a little bit unjustified. And like I said, I'm not an expert in this, but
as a person who has debated this in the most detail, is Checkmate, who just published his own view of the industry.
It's time for humanity to wake the fuck up. And it's going to happen in the next 10 or 20 years.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of on the same page as Dave. The thing that I am concerned about is the catastrophizing and that leading to making a change that's fundamentally breaks things for something that may never actually come to occur at all, right? That's the risk.
Okay, but I think the straw man, what people on the net understand of our is we need to work on things with urgency, not implement them right away.
It's not a straw man. I'm saying that catastrophizing could lead to action happening faster than it should. That's not a straw man.
The whole thing is a straw man that Zach's proposing.
Regardless of what your position that you're taking is. You can still whip up a mob into action that can be bad, even if it's not the intended action that you're seeking.
Bro, and hasn't Nick Carter kind of been against Bitcoin for the last few years? Now he wants to
dude. I heard he invented in some startups that added code to a thing. He's a traitor.
Yeah, he's against Bitcoiners, not Bitcoin.
Ah, okay.
I'm with whatever the Daves think, I'm good with.
Let's go. Canadians.
Not just Dave. David's short as well,
Oh, I'm sorry.
An individual was identified as Claudio Neves Valenti.
So you guys also talking about saving Bitcoin with explaining all this.
We have a special guest here, and we want to make a toast for the Secretary of Treasury, Scott.
We're going to send out a survey monkey.
Let's go.
So let's give it up.
Dave, are you explaining quantum to all the hillbillies out there?
That's the plan.
Who is Ian?
Nice.
Zach, I strongly disagree. Nick Carter has done his research because devs are working on this and are proposing solutions. I dropped a bunch in the chat.
Oh, that's great. I also don't claim to know what devs are or not doing in detail on this. I am more despairing about the state of the conversation.
Well, you're claiming that there's not war games and discussions.
I don't think there are actual war games.
And then you watch your pathetic little football games and call yourself a man. You come here and talk your shit. You're such a loser.
Yeah, Zach, the reason for the attitude that is really pissing you off is because this is actually, I just showed up to Quantum and I'm here to fix it. You know what I mean? Like it is the same thing where it's mostly people who have no idea what they're talking about, wasting time with people who have thought deeply about this for a long time and telling them that they're not focused on it at all. And that's just, wouldn't you be annoyed and wouldn't you use snarky ways to cut off the conversation that shows that the person who's reading about this has no fucking clue what they're talking about?
I don't know how anyone could reasonably say this is not a thing we need to worry about.
I don't know how anyone could use the example of a side.
No one's saying that.
Well, it's really I'm still mad, Zach, for a sec. There are devs that are saying it because they're so irritated with how they're kind of being told they need to work on this immediately. It's happening tomorrow. This is number one priority. I think it's really high on the priorities list, and there's many solutions being proposed, and the best are sort of bubbling to the top. But a lot of this cryptography is new too. We have the practice of not just adding brand new cryptography into SecP in a long time.
I think everything you just said is an entirely reasonable response, and is not what I'm saying.
The yellow belts are definitely pretending that quantum's not a thing. Zach's being early to the quantum. The fact that people don't take it seriously for a long time. Same with the yen carry trade. He's always been warning us about the yen carry trade, and it's back again. We need to put more respect on Zach's name.
Exactly. Quantum and the yen carry trade.
It's back to what happened today.
MSTR.
Any update on yen carry and MSTR? He has been on the money lately.
What time is BOJ?
You engaged yet, Chris?
This is a yen carry trade group, right?
I have probably like another 10 hours before I'm engaged. So any women here, want to give me their last plea before I, get married off, now's the time.
Somebody ping Shelly back. Somebody ping Shelly back in the room.
I was gonna start talking like a woman, but I can't pull it off. So
We got rid of Kelly, Canadian Jen Seth.
When did you guys start dating, Chris? It's like a year?
It's been 15 months.
Oh, BOJ already announced a hike early this morning. Fuck. Or yay. I don't actually know enough about this. What is that? Is that what?
well, that is the unwinding. Is if they raise rates.
Is it because it goes negative to positive? What's their current rate?
No, they found this artificial ceiling that they haven't been able to eclipse, and I believe that the narrative is that they are now breaching that ceiling.
I do remember last time this was all discussed. Zach was in here worried about it, and we dropped down to like 50K, I think, that day. Bitcoin is like, there's no bounce back.
October of last year, almost. It's like 20%.
I don't really even know what the inversion rate is.
So basically, it's just because people are taking advantage of the low interest rate.
I know what it is on that level.
It's just free. Yeah, all they're doing is getting free money. So they're just going. They're just short.
Yeah, the ARB is the arbitrage.
I've been seeing
They're
So
able
like
to
this
take.
thing called like the interest rate.
I do now know what it is.
But the thing is, they're hedging. They're going short on the.
Dude, they're free money.
Well, no, they're basically.
on the yen carry.
No, yeah, you guys all know.
PTR. I searched yen on X, and this is the result.
I have a Twitter thread about this, the Nick Carter thing, and everyone getting mad about him investing in a quantum startup, and everyone who is replying to me saying that it's a terrible investment because you can just own Bitcoin, or he's pumping his bags. I'm just replying with gifs of Karl Marx or Lenin.
Wait, what?
The Bitcoin Puritans who don't like any private funding.
I think it's weird to get mad at him funding quantum because for the point you said, like China getting it first or whatever. So yay on that.
And
Also,
he's
just
like,
if you believe in something, you're allowed to put your money where your mouth is.
repeatedly all over the place. Like it's I mean, of course, like it makes sense. His whole job is to invest in
Exactly.
technology.
So
He thinks there's some technology threat, like it would be a good thing to invest in, obviously.
well, not even that though. It's like the twofold thing, right? Where the quantum guys need the capital to build their computers to then go do the attack. So they're gonna embellish the capabilities so they could get the capital. It's like the AI stuff. Like you don't have agents.
And I do think Nick has seen like pitches that is like making him think this is going to happen a lot faster than it actually is.
That is his prerogative too, though. Like I don't like. It's weird if they're shitting on him for investing in quantum. Although I don't know like how you quite make money from it yet. But I'm not versed on commercializing quantum.
He's investing in quantum companies and then making it a big deal and trying to hype it up to like increase his valuations. Is that what they're critical of?
If that's what you assume when you hear he's invested in a quantum startup, rather than just he's worried about quantum and so making the investment, you're probably.
Well, did he make the investment and just stay silent, or has he made the investment and tried to like make like a case for the FUD argument?
He is a public VC who publishes theses about his investments and has for years. If you have a problem with it, you're a guy.
I don't have any problem with this. It's trying to understand like what people are upset about on the
He
internet.
wrote a bunch of stuff shilling Bitcoin too earlier. I was really upset when he was doing that.
Me too.
I like Nick. Nick has helped me in the past in like 2020. He even attended one of these demo days I held where a bunch of VCs showed up to look at companies that are building on Liquid and stuff. He's always been nice to me. And like I said, my only gripe with him is he refuses to eat with his hands at beefsteaks.
I don't think there's any problem with he can do what the fuck he wants. It's just, do I find anything he says interesting if I know he's just doing it for financial gain? Like, is he just...
He can't move the markets with his tweets. He's not doing it for financial gain.
Does he believe that?
He's doing it for engagement then. What's the difference?
No, he's doing it because he, like many of us here, like being a think boy. And he's putting his ideas out there.
Yeah, and some people don't like think boys.
But that's not the criticism they're making. They're accusing him of pumping his bags, which just means that they're poor and communist.
That's fair.
I think that there is the poor communist thing, but there's also just the fact of I don't give a fuck. Did he explain that? This is
Let's get into the nitty gritty. If he was pumping his bags, it would be at a markup, and unless the quantum company he invested in is now raising capital, and his initial investment is going to be marked up, I don't really see it as pumping his bags. Now he could be just shilling his portfolio, for maybe solutions or maybe other clients or something, but I don't think he could just raise the valuation like that. Someone else has to actually invest after him.
The thing that actually helps you is if you post something like that and then years down the line, you're right and your investment did well, and you can point to the earlier post and see, look, this was my thesis and I have a good track record.
He was contrarian at the time, yeah.
Yeah, it's like using Twitter as a diary.
But that only works if you're correct, which is why the poor communists are missing the point.
Why can't we just not like someone and then not have to explain it?
You can dislike Nick Carter and not explain it.
I think people don't know why they like
explaining it with their bullshit.
I think people don't know why they like or dislike him. I think he hates the Bitcoiners because the Bitcoiners mob dogpiled him, made fun of his mom who's passed away and his dad for running a marathon. They did some really low blow shit to him, but in the name of him being some shitcoiner or something, because he invested in some, I think it was some KYC AML company.
It was a wallet.
Yeah.
I think where people get lost is where they feel like they have to explain why they don't like someone, and then they just start pulling at straws to try to justify it. And why can't you just say, I just don't like this person?
Doesn't get as much engagement.
That's why it's all fake and gay, right there.
I think they don't like the idea of Nick Carter, this sweater vest wearing guy who went to Miami and grew a mustache too, and now gets girls.
Just say I don't like that guy. This guy's not my
They don't like that he's gotten rich in a different way than that. That's really what people don't like, is they were promised that their 0.1 Bitcoin would make them a billionaire, and Nick Carter's actually wealthy because he has made private investment.
But that's your interpolation of the situation.
Yes, that is my read on the situation.
I kind of see it that way too, because it's easy to vilify him as a VC. I see he's the opposite of Michael Shapiro. Michael Shapiro would hate him.
They actually may have a flame thing going on right now. Let me see if Michael responded.
But do you guys actually find, I don't know, it bothers me, I find when I hear people talk on Twitter Spaces or anywhere, and they're all pretending that they care about this issue so much, and they're offering their opinions, but they don't point out their bias. I'm invested in this company, and that's why I did it.
The first sentence of his piece on quantum was disclosing all of
I'm not talking about Nick, It doesn't have to be to Nick Carter, but just in general. It's like, yeah, they point
I
to
agree,
buy
Chris.
to fight.
It'd
Like,
be nice. It'd be nice if people make the disclosures like that. I agree.
Like, during that whole ordinal debate and all that stuff, I'm like, I'm just like I hear devs telling me all this stuff like, I don't know shit because they're a dev and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, but you just want to get paid to fucking do some ordinal bullshit, you know? Like, I'm like, you're not actually, you're trying to pretend that, like, you're some authority because you're so smart on dev. But I'm like, but you just really wanted that paycheck. And that's why you're fucking, arguing that, like, we need this technology.
So this is kind of how I feel, Chris. Like I said, I feel like I'm in quantum hell since 2024 summer, since I saw the NIST specification. And it's like things like that where I hear George and Dusty arguing about like whether Udi's going to activate a soft fork that makes OpCat happen again. I'm like, that's not how that works. And then Dusty's not having a serious convo with them because he's like, fuck George, he's an idiot. And I'm just sitting here and everyone's getting scared because of convo. And it doesn't, it doesn't go anywhere. And yeah, it's very frustrating.
Okay, I found the Michael and Nick thing. So Nick had posted the thing we're talking about. Extremely bearish and the influential devs flatly deny that there's any quantum risk. That's what pissed me off, Zach, because that is fucking gaslighting. That's like
that is
that there's any quantum risk.
And for the record, Adam Back is not a dev. Like maybe he was in like the 80s and 90s, but these days he's like a trader.
Anyway, so Michael responds. Think about like all the stuff you found. Approximately 95% fake crypto scams with the accidental real company. It may surprise you to hear that other industries are also like yours, full of affinity scammers with fake technology. Quantum is probably one of them, but you know that. Nick responds. Complains about hype and scams. Quote, co-founded the ASML plus TSMC of hypersonics. I guess that's in Michael's
portfolio.
Michael's not responded yet.
But welcome to Quantum Hell, David. You've joined me too now. Everyone's in Quantum Hell. It's only going to get worse. Zach, you're going to feel what Nick did to us with like some random like Fox News guy. It's going to drive you crazy. It's going to be in like 2027.
I just want to feel like we're on the right track. And when I do, then I want to do it. Because then it becomes
in the new year,
I genuinely am worried that we as media
in the new year, I'll sit down with you. We can go over all the proposals. Tell you everything. Yeah, like it is being worked on. I agree with you. The human aspect leaves a lot still to be done. But then, just the way cryptography is, it like bubbles up. You can't really be like, this is the solution. We're doing this, because someone might find like a flaw in the algorithm or something. So it needs to be thoroughly peer reviewed, and that's where they're more scared about changing something that works for something that's new and novel that hasn't been fully proven out yet.
maybe we should be like funding bug bounties for better solutions.
Yeah, that's true. Like if you can find the CV, any of the NIST standards or any of this like Sphinx Plus stuff, yeah, totally. I appreciate it. It's like this is the constructive approach versus like the divisive approach where it's like, no, you're a retard, you don't get this, or like kind of laughing it off. Like I do see devs doing that too, but it's like their like defense mechanism sort of response to it.
Because they do get it all the time, right? It's like they, for the most part, are not getting paid very much. They could get paid a lot more to do other stuff. And they have, chosen to work on like what they think is important on Bitcoin, right? Like what they've chosen to work on right now, they think is important for some reason, right? Like they made a decision and they're actually doing something. And then some random person on Twitter tells them, oh, you should actually focus on this other thing that I just found out about. Like you should, you who have invested your life in this, you should listen to me about what you.
And it's not so much even Nick. It's that like every fucking random guy on the subway or anywhere is now on their face about him because some random thing they read on like Yahoo News, you know.
It doesn't have like a meter on this where you have to stick coins to get on. You know, the tax on everything else. It's only fucking $1,000 to come here.
It's a Jensen meme for sure, yeah.
Film crews. Are you for real? Which doesn't mean that they're like not like being overly dismissive. Like I think I'm just trying to explain why they're not that
Yeah.
they should not say it's not. I 100% agree with you. Like, it's something we're worried about. Is it actual existential?
It's a miscommunication. Both people are just like triggered and concerned and annoyed. And welcome to Quantum. The one that I feel who's really contributed to the convo in here about quantum more than anyone, oddly, is Aaron. He showed me this quantum mining paper where I think the way they can look at the header is a little different from games, potentially, like they do with ASIC Boost. I want to, look into that. I haven't read the paper thoroughly, but when I told Aaron originally, I was like, ASICs are like really dumb machines, so, like, I don't think you need a quantum computer to do SHA-256. It's more about breaking ECC with the discrete log assumption. And then, he was like, no, well, it's like the way templates are created, ordering transactions. Maybe there's some entropy there that they can get with quantum. So now I'm curious about that, and I gotta read what he sent me. But hats off to you, Ray. That was like a blind spot for me.
Aaron's done a lot for this community. His math isn't great, but everything else.
Hey everyone, it's Jeremy Rutner, a Hollywood star, and a 54-year-old man is being accused of threatening Paul Isaac's 34-year-old filmmaker partner, Pete Cho, after she confronted him for allegedly sending her unsolicited dirty photos.
I missed out.
Zach, you tell me the day or like a week you want to go over this stuff. Completely yours. I'll like get you up to speed on everything, whether it's Hunter Beasts or
Awesome. Thanks.
other like.
If we do that, we should. I'll bring more of the BPI people with me so they can hear as well.
Sweet.
He's doping. Actually, it's probably not, but the DDC location did actually formally open. I think today.
Nice, congrats, Zach. Did I hear that James O'Byrne's on the board of BPI?
No, not on the board. This is one of our technical advisors.
Oh, okay.
I think he's on the advisory board for the Peer-to-Peer Rights Fund, along with notable Bitcoiner Mike Brock.
That's I guess you guys got a diverse board of opinions. But it's just funny, it's like, if you look at James is actually one of the people who's very dismissive. Robin Linus is another one that's very dismissive. But then there are like devs like Jonas Nick, Lalu, Hunter Beast. People are, actually approaching this. Jeremy Rubin has talked about probably quantum resistance earlier than anyone while he was doing his CTV proposal, because I figured out a way where you could do this thing called the Lamport signature. And I think that was back in 21 or 22. So, it's kind of cool now again to like actually approach the problem, even if you don't think it's real by your peers.
The signature one, that's where like we could actually sort of use those now with like minimal changes.
Yep.
And, like, yeah. So like that's the kind of stuff that like
and did you see
the approach that we take? Like we do these incremental, like people who are worried about it, they can move to these schemes, but we're not like fucking everything up.
Did you see that they I think it was Jeremy or someone else that talked to Dan Bonet, and then he told him about like the Winternit signature, where it's like instead of one-time signature, it's like a few-time signature, and he like added to it, so it's a little bit better and more efficient than a Lamport signature too. So
Yeah, the
all this
are really big.
Yeah, well, all the quantum stuff is, but yeah, like that's what I mean. Like, there's all these optimizations and these like sort of peer review cycles. All these things are going through.
It's a rosé. I never had a rosé champagne. Hello. Hello, Dad. Oh, good. I want you to know that I was there.
I'd say we put all Bitcoin on open dimes and we just move those around. Basically.
And where's Cole Porter's piano?
I mean, like that's
that's
not a bad idea, Dave, because it's like it's pay to pubkey hash. It's like a one address, so at least it's hashed. And then like a while, whatever long range and short range attacks, you're absolutely right. You can just literally hand someone that thing. And they can look up on the blockchain.
Yeah, we stop mining anything.
This war game.
Yeah, I mean Dave's right too. We don't even need like a fucking block like the miners. We can just pause the chain. Dave's right.
You hand out open dimes.
Oh wow, that's actually pretty clever, Dave. I didn't even think of open dimes for this. Like they could be 100 block reorg. And just like, I don't give a fuck. Got my open dime. I want some coffee.
This fella's being called the chillest dude in America.
I hope you like quantum, because you're going to talk about it every day.
I hate it.
Yeah, me too, Dave. They're going to talk about it every day till it's like 2030. It's only going to get more annoying.
I think that's why I hate it, because I don't think it's ever going to come to fruition. So I know it's never going to die as FUD.
I think it's entirely possible it comes to fruition, but it has to be like some crazy, miraculous sort of discovery in physics, And even at that,
I don't think you can know it comes to fruition.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So it's like that's a long possibility.
Yeah. Like even with all the capital that, these quantum resistant or quantum computer people get, they still might not figure it out.
And they're getting a lot of capital right now, but I think the more people think through this, the more they think that quantum isn't that investable as a technology.
I agree.
It's destructive. It doesn't build anything. So why are we putting our capital in here?
Supposedly there's some physics and chemistry related things that you can
stuff, but the addressable market is like $2 trillion, dude. That quantum can be helpful in. It's not that big.
I think that's still big, but I think you're spot on where it's I don't think startups really have a play in this. It's going to be IBM and Microsoft and Google and governments. I don't really see startups.
Dick Dave over here, $2 trillion is too small for me to even.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I like this idea that money's going to pour into it until it happens. I don't know if it's true.
Alright, good chat, guys. Stay up. Don't let the quantum guys bully you.
So
Nick, eat with his hands.
Huddle's looking for you, Silva. We know about your fucking Portuguese brethren.
Looking for me?
Oh, shit. Silva, you knew the brown shooter?
No.
Hey, Huddle, you here? Silva knew the brown shooter?
Silva's fucking here. We're asking him.
The Brown and MIT shooter was.
You know Nuno Lorello de Silva?
Nuno?
Hey man, what happens say get the fucking Portuguese the fuck out of here? Get motherfucking country, dude. That's what I'm saying, dude. Start with some
Portuguese. Wait, hold on a second. I was told.
At first they came for the Portuguese, and I said, go get Silva, make sure you get him.
High school. You're not pervert. Shut up. High school.
I thought, yeah, that's what I thought too.
Oh, man, you want to fight down your country?
So we were convinced that it was the Muslim guy because they were scrubbing his profile. But it seems like now, it seems like now they were scrubbing his profile because he was getting falsely targeted by right winger. Which again just makes you look more guilty when it's a comms failure on Brown's part. But I will say, Johnson was right about the two things being connected, and I think he was the first person I heard say it. So he gets a 50% mark.
Yeah, that's fair. Hey Silva, I think there's a broader conspiracy against like Brazilians versus Portuguese, and you guys are taking this big L.
Wait, was it a brown guy? Was it a brown guy from Brown?
It's a Portuguese, and yeah, it's dealer's choice on if you count them as white or not. I personally don't.
Hold on a second.
Johnson's coming for you, Silva.
They're smart.
Brazilian Portuguese is the real Portuguese.
Do you know what happens every time there's a terrorist attack? Every Arab on the planet goes, and then we do Portuguese, and we go, and you guys still want us to fucking deal with the Portuguese and take them on as brown guys too? What the fuck?
No, hey, listen, we don't fuck with these paella punchers, you know?
Hello?
Silva, do they even paella? I thought that was
I sampled their sausage.
Hello?
Communication is hypnosis. Come on, let's get it out the way, John. Go ahead, Zoyo. Malcadon, let's get You know what?
Get it out the way.
Let's get it, bro.
All right, I'd like to address the topic at hand. Point of order. Man is indeed infinitely great. We are so vast and profound, you have no idea. That man with those stinky dreads, what a wasted time. But not you talking apes. Man is from the beyond. The clarion call. We are from Mars. We are from Venus. We are from Uranus. And when you go inside Uranus, you find the secret source of all gravity, density, meaning, joy. But there are people on this app who will waste your time because they came here with brain rot. So severe that they will convince you that you yourself are actually accomplishing something here. But you know it's true. You know that this is a huge waste of fucking time. You know it, and I know it, and you've got nothing better to do, and you're lazy.
That is very strange.
I like the way they changed the topic, though.
Yeah.
Every time somebody tells somebody that Trump is a piece of shit, y'all want to change the topic.